Many people may be aware that the first Collier County Courthouse was built in Everglades City. But why Everglades City? And when and how exactly did it get transferred to East Naples and become the courthouse that we know today? As we celebrate Collier County's centennial, let's take a deeper look at the evolution of our courthouse. On May 8, 1923, Florida Governor Hardy signed Senate Bill 149, Chapter 9362, making Collier County the 62nd county in the state of Florida. At the time, it seemed only right that the county seat should be located in the community of Everglades, as it was at the time the most modern area in the county. Here, most of the activity involved in the building of the Tamiami Trail took place. Also, on July 7th, the first county officials were appointed by Governor Hardy, and this included the first clerk of the Circuit Court, W.B. Lanier, and County Judge Frank B. Hunter, Jr., as well as tax assessor D.W. McLeod. Baron Collier was a key figure in the creation of Collier County, and when negotiating to separate from Lee County, he made it clear that the county seat must be in Everglades City. Since there was no official courthouse during those first few years, the courthouse moved about town, often sharing quarters with other businesses. The day when Collier became a fully functional county was when it held its first Board of County Commissioners meetings on July 7, 1923 at 2 p.m. This meeting was held in the annex of the Rod and Gun Club in Everglades. Then, on November 29, 1923, the first term of the Circuit Court convened with the Honorable George W. Whitehurst, Circuit Judge, presiding. This session was also held at the Rod and Gun Club. Later, the Bank of Everglades was rented and served as a courthouse until the Collier County Courthouse was finally completed. The two-story courthouse building was built for $25,000. This contract was awarded to the Everglades, Florida-based Sparkling Gift Construction Company, which was a Baron Collier-owned company. In April of 1928, a crowd of people gathered in front of the courthouse to watch the parade celebrating the opening of the Tamiami Trail in Collier County. The Greater Labor Day hurricane caused massive amounts of destruction and had a fairly high death toll. Following the Labor Day hurricane of 1935, the Weather Bureau established additional monitoring stations in southern Florida and took steps to improve disaster preparedness in vulnerable coastal areas. The Labor Day hurricane still ranks as one of the most powerful storms ever to make landfall in the United States. This image shows men standing near a large stack of coffins during the cleanup following the storm. The courthouse, less than 10 years old at the time, was not spared. It experienced extensive flooding after the hurricane. Here, a group of government officials are clustered on the courthouse steps. Included in this group was newly appointed County Clerk Margaret T. Scott. Although the courthouse was enlarged in 1948 and again in 1956 to meet the growing needs of the county, many of the clerk's functions had spread to a number of rented spaces about town. This also necessitated the opening of a branch of the Collier County Courthouse in Naples. The Collier County Commissioners passed a resolution in 1956 declaring the Naples Company Building on the corner of 3rd Street and Broad Avenue South the Naples branch of the Collier County Courthouse. It was hoped that the branch in Naples would quiet the public sentiment to transfer the main courthouse to Naples. However, this was not the case. This sentiment became even more persistent when the state began to pressure the county to expand its jail. This period, when supporters of each faction raised their petitions and debated the best course of action for the county, is known as the Courthouse War. After county officials stated that a minimum of 20 acres would be needed for a new courthouse and several sites were open for donation, the public then needed to vote. When the referendum was held on May 19, 1959, and then a June 9th runoff between Everglades City and East Naples, a majority of the votes favored the transfer to the East Naples location, on a largely underdeveloped plot of land. In addition, it was also pointed out that this location would place the new jail far enough from the population centers so as not to cause concern to the residents. At 9:30 a.m. on September 10, 1960, Hurricane Donna's eye passed near Everglades City, with its lethal upper right quadrant hitting their coast. All wind gauges were blown out, but official estimates put the winds at 150 miles per hour with one gust at 175. Winds of gale force hit the city for 13 hours. After the eye passed Everglades City, the surge swept in, with the peak flooding occurring at 2:30 p.m. The water rose to waist-high on the first floor of the old Collier County Courthouse, destroying many of the county's records, and was 7 to 8 feet deep in the streets. 200 people crowded into the second floor of the courthouse, while others sought safety on the Collier Corporation's second-floor offices. Many homes would remain under 7 feet of water for up to 10 hours. Donna left the town with half of the buildings wrecked. Debris, sea life, and filth were everywhere. On Friday, October 13, 1961, the Collier County Courthouse groundbreaking ceremony occurred at the East Naples location. Clerk of Courts Margaret Scott was in attendance. Architect Nelson A. Farber had a vision of not just a large courthouse, but a complex of government buildings, and made a pitch to the county commissioners verbally before drawing up blueprints. He believed the site's functionality rested on a combination of dignity and permanence of appearance, good working accommodations, convenient public access, low construction costs, and most importantly, ease of expansion. These criteria would be best met by a courthouse complex rather than a 10-story skyscraper. He advocated the use of modern construction components called modular walls, which allowed for the easy expansion of one-story buildings without altering their design. Building A was the only 2-story building. Building A housed the sheriff department on the first floor and the courtrooms and judges' chambers on the second floor. The big black wall was originally part of an ornamental design by Farber. However, the Board of County Commissioners did not feel residents would recognize the building as the county seat with the ornament proposed and would not approve it. Later, in 1974, an aluminum map of the outline of the state of Florida was made and affixed to the big black wall. The building's original panels were decorated with three-dimensional relief art, which Nelson Farber described as follows. The 3 figures at the bottom of the panel represent the citizens, man, woman, and child. The palm pointing down with the coins in it represents services rendered, while the other palm represents taxation. At the center of the panel is the sun, representing Florida or Collier County. And at the top of the panel, the 5 figures represent government, or the 5 county commissioners. The woman at the bottom of the panel is pregnant, which represents the continuance of the population. Some of the panels are still present today on the outside walls of the older buildings in the complex. This aerial photo of the Collier County Government Center at US 41 and Airport Pulling Road was taken in 1962 after construction was finished. Left to right, Building C, Building B, A, and D with the East Tamiami Trail in the foreground. On September 30th, 1962, the dedication of the Collier County Courthouse and Jail was held. The presentation of the key to the Collier County Courthouse also occurred. Many well-wishes of the move of the county seat to East Naples came from all over and included many businesses in Naples as well as state-level government officials. After the county seat moved to Naples in 1962, the original courthouse became the Everglades City Hall. Set in the heart of Everglades, the old county courthouse still has the original vault. In 1989, the old Collier County Courthouse was listed in a Guide to Florida's Historic Architecture. It had to be completely restored after Hurricane Wilma in 2005. The courthouse was listed on the National Register of the Historic Places on December 3, 2013. The Collier County Government Center underwent a series of expansions beginning in 1966, which included the improvement and additions to Buildings C and D. In 1974, the Collier County Courthouse and Jail were expanded upon. A new 4-story administration center, which would connect with this building, now housing the county jail and Collier County Sheriff's Department. The complex will now be known as the Collier County Government Center. In 1988, a $9 million groundbreaking took place to build a courts building, including 7 courtrooms, 7 hearing rooms, and 9 judges' chambers, to alleviate the court system that had been particularly strapped for space. The courthouse building was renovated again in 1999, and at this time, the county's primary administration building at the Government Center was named the W. Harmon Turner Building. The late W. Harmon Turner was honored for his vision, dedication, and action leading Collier County and its people from 1934 to 1974. In 2009 and 10, the building was expanded with a 7-story wing, which is connected to the main building by a 4-story atrium. The courthouse annex was dedicated to the Honorable Hugh D. Hayes for over 30 years of serving the people of Collier County. The Hugh Hayes Annex houses the Clerk of Court and Comptroller's offices. Today, the map of all the buildings that make up the Collier County Government Center looks very different than in 1962 when the first courthouse was built. The Clerk of the Circuit Court and Comptroller's office, as well as the Circuit Court of the 20th Judicial Circuit and County, are both located in Building L, listed on the map as Courthouse and Annex. Modifications to the Government Center between 2000 and 2010 have rendered the original Nelson Farber blueprints of 1960 completely unrecognizable. However, these modifications were made to meet the ever-growing needs of the Collier County residents.